Welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. So in the previous part, Emmy lost her legs, and then it, well, I suppose, depending, well, I don't know, lost her virginity, maybe? That depends, really, it doesn't really, I don't even know. Probably was the case, I don't know. That's usually the case. I don't know. But enough of that. Well, actually, there's going to be another one of those scenes in just a few minutes, probably. But still, let's get back to the plot and stuff. Abby looks askance at me. Seriously, you can't think of why a shed full of track supplies at a school for the disabled would have racing gloves? Well, once you put it that way, I suppose that makes perfect sense. Hey, I'm still getting used to this place. Give me a break, huh? I guess I can let it slide this time. Oh, come on, I'll need your help. I can't imagine what for, but then again, I didn't have a clue why racing gloves would be in the shed, so I'm not willing to press the issue. Emmy navigates her way to the shed easily enough, though I can hear her grumbling underneath her breath. It's actually kinda cute. I hurry a little to reach the door first, opening it will be easier for me than for her. The door opens and Emmy starts to wheel inside, only to come to a sudden halt at the doorway. It seems the door sill is slightly too high for her to get over by herself. She makes a few runs at it unsuccessfully before crossing her eyes and glaring at the offending object. Stupid wheelchair! So, can you give me a hand here? Sure, no problem. It's simple enough. It's a simple enough matter for me to bump Emmy over the doorway, jostling her slightly. Yeah, whatever. Hey, easy there! Whoops, sorry. It's at about this time that I fail to notice where I'm going and run Emmy's chair into a mat. She gives a startled yelp and topples forward out of her chair. There's a moment of silence as I gaze in horror upon what I've done, and Emmy glares at me. Well, if it was awfully serious, the music would have stopped, you know. So, yes? Obviously you'll never work at a hospital. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Emmy giggles and holds up a hand. Would you kindly help me back into my chair, Sal? As I bend to pick up Emmy, she grins in triumph and pulls me into a kiss that quickly has a spoof, entirely unconcerned about getting her back into the chair. I don't think they can go a single part in this LP, well, this route, now, like in the LP, without kissing at least once or twice in each part, it seems. In fact, as I move to a more comfortable position, I confess that the chair is pushed out the door, which, startled by the passage, swings shut. Well, at least we've got privacy now, which is a good thing, as my hands work quickly to remove Emmy's blouse and skirt. Wait. What? I mean, I know I said that one of those things was coming up, but that's just escalated really quickly, more so than the previous one. Is it just gonna go straight to it, or is it gonna actually explain? I don't even know. I'm still to discover that she's forgotten to put her bra on today. Did she plan this? Oh wait, it's not going straight into one of those scenes yet. This is purely just him like, wait, what? I forget what were they doing, were they, I've lost the plot, yeah. Her arms hook under mine and rest on my shoulders as I get my way down Emmy's neck, pausing to give special attention to a spot right where the neck meets the shoulder that I found last night. So, I don't know what to say, really. It's essentially going to lead into one of those scenes, but at the same time, I feel like it's not led into that scene yet. It's like, a kind of like, I don't know. It's like it's gone into that scene, but not into the main portion of that scene. I just remember when I originally played through this route, I found it so awkward that it, like, switches from, like, all this plot-driven stuff, and it's just like all this running and all that, and character development too. It's just like, okay, throw in 2 of those scenes, and like completely give you a different perspective. So, I suppose off-screening, because I don't think this has any plot. Wait, what? She said she has a confession or something. Having pulled back, I decide instead to focus my attention on her, breasts. But the, editing will have to focus on her face. As she attempts to speak, her words are interspersed with giggles that I find incredibly cute. I don't actually... Whoa, wear gloves! My own reply is rather mumbled onto her chest instead of being addressed to her face. Should have known. Words quickly become irrelevant. Emmy's movement's almost frantic, as if she's been holding something back since we met this morning and now has an outlet. I'm very nearly caught off guard by her aggressiveness, feeling her nearly rip my shirt off the way she seems to like to be in the dominant position. Okay. For my part, I confess that I'm caught up in her attitude as well, fighting back, rolling and wrestling even as I caress her breasts, even as her fingers dig into my shoulders and I lose track of where we are. I've lost track where the plot has gone as well. It's like the plot just kind of went, okay, this is a real serious scene, right? Emmy has to like have her prosthetic legs off and has to be in a wheelchair, and it's like, was like all that, just like all sad and all, and then it went into one of those scenes, and now it's gone into one of those scenes again, but there's only 2 of those scenes, and we'll turn to the regular kind of plot afterwards, I think. Where was the scene going? So much so that I roll off the mat and land on something small and rather hard. Ow! Emmy, still flushed and breathing a little heavily, peers at me and bursts into laughter. I'm sorry, you alright? Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what I landed on, though. Reach under my back and pull the offending object out. Inspecting it closely, my ears are bleeding! Personal lubricant lemon... wait, what? Emmy's eyes shoot upwards and she begins, if possible, to laugh even harder. Somehow, I don't think this isn't track related. Oh, gee, you think? Oh man, I know what that is. What? It's the track captains. Ah, my old nemesis, or kind of. How do you know it's his? It appears that I've asked a stupid question, or at least let me think so. Because he's the one who told me the track shed was a good place for... What did he call him? Clandestine encounters? Oh, he invited you to one or something? What? Emmy bursts into more laughter. I confess the sight of a naked Emmy laughing is oddly beautiful. This scene is just awkward. I feel an eagerness to end conversation and get back to what we were doing despite my rather pointed questioning. It's how the track captain's gay. Huh? Oh, so it does have a bit of plot in there as well. Oh, that makes sense what the nurse said there. Like, oh yeah, it's unlikely that there'll be a couple. And that would be why. Really? And here I initially thought you two were a couple. Well, I did have a crush on him when I first joined up, but he wasn't interested. Obviously. But we are good friends, I guess. I mean, he told me about all this, you know. I hesitate to ask. Gee! Well, what have we got here? Can you see where this may be going? So, she reveals the track captain is gay, and... it's going into one of those scenes, and she's talking about all this. Where could this possibly go? And really, I do, but I ask anyway. Why, what does he need the lube for anyway? Gee, I wonder what kind of scene is going to be off-screen. I mean, he doesn't... how the hell does Emmy always manage to not blush? Obviously using it for, you know. Oh man. Okay, off-screening from this point. Just like, yes, I will just read that one line that pretty much sums up the whole scenario here. Anal. Off-screening time! Okay, I think the scene's over now. And Emmy was not amused by it, and she's going to let the captain know how unamused she is by it or something. But it's still in, you know, the scene, so the utter and absolute ridiculous of the situation suddenly hits and I begin laughing. What am I even reading at this point? It was like all plot driven and then suddenly these scenes. Well, it's not like it's the first visual novel of LP that's had those scenes, but still, it's really awkward when it gets around to those. It's like, so we went from like, you know, comedic kind of things, a romance to those scenes. Emmy shakes her head and begins laughing with me. The cat one side of the room. A moment. Right, where were we? Also of note, I noticed in that scene, because of course it has a CG, and I noticed that Emmy's legs, it's like pointing out, she hasn't got legs, she got prosthetic legs, but her actual legs are actually there, but obviously not like the full legs and all that, but they do go quite a bit, like just a bit below the knee. And like below that, nothing. So she has still got quite a bit of her legs left there. I don't even know, man. This scene's just really awkward. Hey, Sal. Yeah? We're never doing this again, right? Yeah, I think my curiosity is satisfied with this one. Emmy not satisfied. Good. I think we should maybe stick to the basics, don't you? I mean, most of this is new to me anyway. What do you mean, most? Emmy grins impishly. I'll never tell. An unpleasant thought strikes me. Even more unpleasant is the thought of having to ask Emmy about it. Oh, so maybe she wasn't a virgin. So they didn't go for the whole, you know, just like, yeah, they've never done that before. Like, every character is a virgin for some reason. Maybe it's not the case here. Still, after what we've just done, it should be a cakewalk. I'm going to off-screen that bit, because, as it says right here, this is the most awkward conversation I have ever had. You're right. Yeah, there's, it's on the back wall. There might be some soap, too. Essentially, about, you know, cleaning up. When will this scene end? Thanks. Scene end already! There's in fact a little hand soap, which is better than nothing. Scene end already! No towel though, guess I'll just have to... Nope. All finished? Yeah, that'll do for now. It's not like I'm going to take a shower after we see the mirrors. Glad to hear it. Now help me find my clothes. You tossed them somewhere. Hey, you would know better. How am I supposed to explain that hole in my shirt? Sorry, I got a little excited earlier. It takes some time, but finally we're both more or less clothed. There's a frantic moment where neither of us knows where Emmy's wheelchair is, but I recall it going through a door and rescue it. Scene completed, maybe, but they might still reference those moments of awkwardness to read about anyway. I mean, actually it was awkward for them as well, but it's certainly awkward for me. I'm freaking like LPing this, reading all the lines. I'm not reading that. It's like some lines, even when it's like, okay, it's kind of going out of those scenes now, still like some dialogue, kind of like, and I'm just like, nope, nope. Now be more careful going through the door this time, would you? Rob's not my friend right now. Sorry we tried this. Emmy shrugs and grins. Well, it's worth a shot, right? And anyways, it was good exercise, right? Oh. There's only like 2 of those scenes though, so after this, no more of those scenes. Well, at least till next routes. I don't think Kenji's one that has one of those though. Oh man. Because, I don't know. This scene, just, you can't argue that. As we make our way up to the nurse's office, I notice that Emmy keeps shifting uncomfortably in her seat. You remember Clannad and Sunohara actually had his own route? Where Tomoya suddenly just like, you know, all these girls and all that, is just like, you know what? He just realizes he's not interested in them, he's interested in Sunohara. But thankfully that was like, you know, didn't have those scenes. What if it did? Can you imagine how that would have gone? Just like, Tomoya, this is even more awkward than I thought. Your character up till then was like focusing on all those girls and you suddenly switch. Nothing wrong with that or anything, but it just... I don't know, my head is just... Why do visual novels have those scenes in general? I mean, if you're gonna like have those scenes, why actually have a plot? I mean, come on! As we make our way up to the nurse's office, I notice that Emmy keeps shifting uncomfortably in her seat. God, this feels weird. Good thing I'm in a wheelchair, Sal. Why's that? Because now I don't have to explain to the nurse why I'm walking funny. Can we please forget this scene, man? Please. Oh, we're never doing this again. The nurse is at least kind enough to not comment on the marks that Emmy left on my shoulders. Nor does he say a word about Emmy's constant shifting about in her wheelchair. Either he didn't notice or he didn't want to notice. All the same, I'm going to have to make sure he didn't slip cyanide into my medication for a little while. I think after what you've been up to, he probably would be... I don't know. My head is just like... Just to be safe, I shall for longer than usual just to be sure I'm clean of our little experiment and then collapse on my bed. Seriously, man, what happened to the plot? It kind of derailed. It went from like this kind of moment with Sal and Emmy where they just like kind of like he's accompanying her. Then it went into one of those scenes. And then it's just like Rin awkwardly just like, I need to use your window. And then the next thing you know, they have another one of those scenes 10 times more awkward than the previous one. And then it put in my mind the image of like, you know, imagining like, I don't even want to think about it. Class is in 20 minutes, so I can probably afford a nap. Well, it was gonna go into, you know, do-do-do, and now it was lagging or something. Nope. Who's there? That's not how the joke goes at all. Who? Knock knock, who's there? Knock knock. What? I already said who's there! Well, it didn't say out loud, but more importantly, what time is it? More importantly, what day? I'm suddenly catapulted into wakefulness by both the fact that the knocking still hasn't stopped and the fact that it's noon. On a school day. Now fully awake, I can remember why I was napping. Better not give that excuse to me, though. Sorry I wasn't in class, I was experimenting sexually with my girlfriend, and it tired me out. And where was this? Oh yeah, it was in the equipment shed. Yeah, that'll go over well. I wonder how long this knocking is going to continue. Guess I ought to answer the door. Oh man, not the person I wanted to see. But after that comment, it's like, imagine if Kenji had one of those scenes with Sao as well. It's like, oh no, 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 no. I'm strangely unsurprised to see Kenji on the other side. Though it appears that Kenji is surprised to see me. What the hell are you doing here, man? Well, I was sleeping. Kenji nods in understanding. Knocked out, I see. I told you to be careful around that Ibarazaki chick, man. This is the sort of thing that happens when you're uncautious. He makes an attempt to look at the back of my head, Did she hit you with something? Or was it a drug? Stop trying to touch me. He's trying to get intimate. Kenji produces a flashlight and shines it in my eyes. You got a concussion. I wasn't knocked out. Maybe you just don't remember. This conversation isn't going anywhere. No, I just had a tiring morning and fell asleep. Whatever, man. If you want to be in denial about this, I guess I can't stop you. But you gotta watch out for that girl, man. She's not safe. What? She's not safe to be around. She's one of the most sinister agents. If you're not careful, there's no telling what can happen. She brought down stronger men than you know. What the hell are you talking about? She's not an agent or anything, and she did knock me out, okay? I also highly doubt that she's brought down anyone at all. Kenji looks almost offended. I have no idea why. You don't believe me? That's cold, man. Real cold. I'm just trying to look out for you. That's what friends do, you know? We're friends? I have no idea. Then again, I wonder if Kenji knows what being a friend even entails. I feel something like pity for him standing there before me. Maybe he does think he's looking after me. I know. I'm sorry about that. Thanks for the warning. I held out my hand as a sign of peace. Kenji shakes it gingerly like my hand could possibly be on fire. There's an awkward silence for a few seconds before Kenji remembers that he's still shaking my hand. Anyway, I need a favor. Well, what kind of favor? I'm out of money. No, you aren't. You've got money kept in your desk drawer under a black notebook for emergencies. Did you ransack my room? That's not important. I don't need money anyway. He adopts a very serious tone. About to undertake a major. I'll blow the whole conspiracy wide open if I'm right. But it's dangerous, so I need you to do something for me in case I don't ever come back. Sure, man, anything. What the hell is he planning on doing? Should I be telling someone about this? If I go missing, wait 3 days and then mail my journal off to the newspapers. It's hidden in my room under a false bottom in one of my desk drawers. How do I get into your room? I don't have a key. Kenji looks at me like I'm crazy. So pick the lock, you know how to do that, right? It's an important skill to learn at a young age. Yeah, of course I know how. I'll be sure to, do that for you if you go missing. I don't think I want to read Kenji's journal. By the way, Kenji seems pretty happy that I've agreed to do this thing for him. Great, man, great. I'll see you around. I got stuff to do. And he's done dashing down the hallway. He made it seem so final. I hope I don't have to carry out his final wishes. Shaking my hand, I close my door and walk back to my bed. Guess I should go to class, if only to catch the last half of the day. But I've come this far without going to class today. But I did want to read more of that Hawking book Muto lent me. I'm sure you'll understand. This time the noise jerks my attention away from my book, an expression not unlike being woken up. Who's there? Me, aren't you glad? The voice is muffled through the door, but unmistakably Emmy's.